Oprah Winfrey does not make mistakes on camera. She just doesn't. So when she stumbled over the word Sussexes on a live podcast and turned two of the most famous people on the planet into a punchline and then laughed, that wasn't an accident. That was a message. And if you know how Hollywood actually works, you already know what that message meant.
Oprah breaks her silence. The moment that sparked 1,000 questions. What if one laugh, just one unexpected, unscripted laugh, could change the way millions of people see a story they thought they already understood? That's exactly what happened when Oprah Winfrey, arguably one of the most media-trained, composed figures in the world, appeared on a live podcast and reacted in a way no one saw coming. Not with her usual calm nods or thoughtful pauses, but with something far more surprising, humor that many interpreted as shade. And just like that, the internet lit up. Was it just a joke? A misunderstood moment? Or was it something deeper? A subtle shift in how one of Meghan Markle's most influential supporters views the narrative? Let's unpack what really happened, why it matters, and why people can't stop talking about it. A relaxed podcast setting, light conversation flowing, and then, out of nowhere, a reference to Meghan Markle pops up. Oprah responds, but instead of her usual poised neutrality, she laughs. Not politely, not briefly. A full, knowing laugh that caught listeners off guard. Now, here's the thing about Oprah. She's not new to this. She's built an empire on emotional intelligence, careful wording, and deliberate presence. So when she reacts in a way that feels unscripted, people notice. And they didn't just notice, they analyzed. Clips of the moment spread across social media like wildfire. Some viewers called it harmless. Others? They saw it as symbolic. A shift. But what exactly were they reacting to? And why did it feel so significant? Celebrity culture thrives on interpretation. But this moment struck a different chord. Why? Because of history. Oprah wasn't just any interviewer when it came to Meghan Markle. She was the interviewer. The one who hosted that globally watched sit-down that shaped public perception in a major way. So when she appears to laugh at a reference tied to Meghan, it raises eyebrows. Some viewers start asking, has Oprah's perspective changed? Was that laughter a subtle signal? Or are people reading way too much into a single moment? Body language experts, commentators, and fans all began dissecting the clip frame by frame. The tone, the timing, even the context of the conversation, everything became part of the analysis. And the more people watched it, the more questions surfaced. But are those questions grounded in reality or driven by curiosity? Why does one reaction, just a laugh, carry so much weight? Because in the world of public figures, perception is reality. When someone like Oprah, who is known for her careful communication, shows even a hint of deviation from her usual tone, people interpret it as intentional, whether it is or not. Think about it. A pause can feel like hesitation. A smile can feel like agreement. And a laugh, that can feel like endorsement or dismissal. The truth is we often fill in the gaps ourselves. We project meaning onto moments because we're wired to look for patterns and stories. And in this case, the story people are building is one of shifting alliances and evolving narratives. But is that fair? Or are we witnessing how quickly a single moment can spiral into something much bigger? To understand why this moment exploded the way it did, you have to understand the broader context. Meghan Markle has been at the center of one of the most polarizing public narratives in recent years. Depending on who you ask, she is a trailblazer who challenged tradition, a misunderstood figure caught in media crossfire, or someone whose story has been inconsistently told. That divide means that every new development, no matter how small, gets amplified. So when Oprah, a key figure in Meghan's media journey, appears to react in a way that feels unexpected, it doesn't exist in a vacuum. It feeds into an already intense conversation. And suddenly, a laugh becomes a headline. But what does that say about us as viewers? Let's cut through the noise for a second. What's the real takeaway here? Not that Oprah exposed anything. Not that Meghan's story has suddenly unraveled. But that perception is incredibly fragile and incredibly powerful. A single moment can. reinforce beliefs, challenge assumptions, or create entirely new conversations. And in a world where attention moves fast, those moments matter more than ever. For viewers, it's a chance to pause and ask, am I reacting to facts or interpretations? Am I seeing the full picture or just a viral clip? Because sometimes the most important insight isn't in the moment itself, but in how we respond to it. What if this moment isn't about Oprah or Meghan at all? What if it's about how we engage with stories? Think about it. Why are we so drawn to moments that might signal a shift? Why do we look for hidden meanings in casual reactions? Why does ambiguity feel so compelling? Maybe it's because uncertainty invites participation. It pulls us in. It makes us part of the story. And in a way, that's exactly what's happening here. This isn't just a celebrity moment. It's a shared experience of interpretation. And that's what keeps people watching. So here we are. One podcast, one laugh, millions of interpretations. Was it a turning point? A misunderstanding? Or just a moment that got bigger than it was meant to be? The answer might depend less on Oprah and more on the lens you bring to it. And that's what makes this story so fascinating. Do you think Oprah's reaction meant something deeper? Or do you think people are reading too much into it? What was your first impression when you saw the clip? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is one of those conversations where every perspective adds something new.